Hi, Timothy Unkert from unkertmedia.com here. In this video, I'm going to talk about a few different things in Ruby. So I'm going to start by talking about star args, and we'll create a fun little function with that. And then I'll talk about the date module, and then I'm going to talk about case statements, which are a way of changing the control flow of a program. So first, let's start with star args. So I'm going to create a file, and in my mega tutorial, which I'm going to all compile this into or put it into, I'm going to be up to file 16. So it's going to be 016, and then we'll call this star args. And remember, you have to add the .rb. My IDE is doing that for me. Okay, so all right, so we've got that there, and then let's close out the side here, and let's create a program. So you use star args for a method in Ruby. So let's define a method, and I thought a cool method would be to create a method. Let's make a comment. We'll create a method that finds the minimum value passed into it. Okay, so we're going to create a method that finds the minimum value passed into it. So let's define our method with def. We'll call this find_min. Remember, we're using snake case, and we're going to use the star args. And what this allows us to do, and let me make a comment, this allows me to pass in any amount of arguments. Okay. All right, and notice my IDE created this n keyword here, so that's important. All right, so we're going to start off this function, and basically what we're passing in here is an array. So we want to set the first number in the array to the minimum number. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable called minnum, and I'm going to set that to the args at index 0. So that's the first item in the array that is passed in. Now I'm going to use Ruby's way of iterating through each item in the array. So I'm going to type args.each, okay? And then I'll say do, then we'll do these pipes here, do number, and then notice I have an end to my iterable loop. And what I'll say is if number is less than the minimum number, then we'll say the minimum number equals the number. Okay, so what is this saying? Well, we're going to go through each element in the array that's passed into this function, which we can pass any number of arguments in. And we're going to look, and for each number in that array, we're going to compare it with the minimum number. If that number in the array is less than the minimum number, so less than the first item in the array, then the minimum number is going to become this new number. And we're going to keep comparing it as we go through. And then at the end of this method, we're going to return the minimum number. And all we have to do is just type minnum. Remember, we don't need the return keyword in Ruby, which is pretty cool. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do puts, and I can do this in parentheses. And I'm going to call the function findMin, and then I'm going to pass in a certain amount of arguments. So I'm going to do 1, let's do 5, let's do -3, let's do 6, let's do 8, and let's do 0. And we want to see if this finds the minimum number, okay? So I'm going to open up my terminal, and I'm going to run this program. I'm going to type Ruby, and then 016, and then hit tab to autocomplete it, and hit enter. And we see we get -3, which is the minimum number in the array that I passed in. Now, if I were to go up here and add some more numbers, maybe -10, maybe 121, maybe 3, 4, 4, and 5, we can go ahead and run it. And this time it should say -10. And it does. -10 right here. Pretty cool. Okay, so that's star args. I'm going to switch pace here a little bit. This is kind of like a filler video for some random stuff that I want to cover in Ruby. And we're going to go to the date module here. Okay, so I'm going to open up my side viewer here, my side file, whatever, and I'm going to create a new Ruby file. Let's see, what am I calling this one? 017 underscore date.rb. Remember, my IDE is adding that for me. And we're going to talk about the date module. So this is basically, we're bringing in some predefined code and we're using it for our program. So to do that, we're going to do this keyword require, and then in single quotes, I can type what I want to bring in, which is date. Okay. And now we can use some user input to create our program. So let's do puts, and we'll ask a question. What month is your birthday? Is your birthday? And we'll do numbers 1 through 12. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll take in the input in a variable called birthday underscore month, and we'll set that equal to gets.chomp. So this is how we take in information, and we're going to convert it to an integer. So I'm going to append this dot or 2i to convert that to an integer. Okay. Let's also ask what day is the birthday. So what day is your birthday? And we'll do 1 to 31, depending on the month. But and then we'll do birth. We'll have this variable birthday day equals gets.chomp to I. Okay, we're going to convert that to an integer as well. And we'll also ask, what age are you? And we'll do a variable called age equals gets.chomp. Now, so far we haven't used the date module, but we're working toward it. 2i. Okay, so we required the date, and then we asked the user for a bunch of questions and stored that user input in 3 different variables. Now we're going to use this date module. We're going to create a few variables. First one's going to be current month, and we're going to set that to, current month, and we'll set that to date.today.month. Okay. We'll also do current underscore day, and we'll set that to date.today.day. We're going to make sure this is an integer, so 2i. Okay. And we'll also do current year, which is date.today.year, and then make sure it's an integer, 2i. Okay. Let's just, for testing, let's just output the current month. So let's do puts, current month, and also let's do puts, current day. Okay. And I'll open up my terminal here, and let's do Ruby and 017 and hit tab, and that auto completes it. We'll run it. What month is your birthday? Let's say in March, so we'll do 3. What day is your birthday? Let's say the 20th, so we'll do 20. What age are you? Let's say 12. Okay. So it takes in the user input, but then you'll see I'm filming this in November, and it's the 21st of November. I'm not going to post this video on the 21st, but I'm filming this on the 21st of November. As you can see right here, November 21st. I don't know if you can see that, but it's in the corner there. All right. Okay, cool. I'm going to now comment this stuff out. And with my ID, I can just highlight it and do a control / and that comments both of those out. So those won't print out, but we know those values, what they are. And so now we're going to create a program to basically tell what year you were born in based off of your information you enter in. So what we'll start with is we'll say if birthday underscore month is less than current underscore month, because we have to take account of that. We're going to say the year born, so we'll create a year born variable, equals the current year minus the age, okay? But we'll also do an else if here. So else if birthday month, if that equals the current month, then we have to take a look at a few different things. So what we'll look at here is we'll look at if the birthday day is less than or equal to the current day, well, then the year born is going to equal the current year minus your age. Otherwise, so if it's greater than, the year born is going to equal the current year minus your age minus 1. Okay, so if your birthday is after the 21st, then we're going to have to take in or subtract a 1 from there. Okay, so this is this else if statement. I'm also going to do an else statement here, because remember we said birthday month equals current month, or it's less than the current month. So else is the birthday month is greater than the current month. Then we'll just say that the year born equals the current year minus your age minus 1, just like if your birthday is greater than the current day. Okay, so you haven't had your, basically what that is doing is it's comparing your birthday in the current year, if it's happened or not. That's going to affect the year that you're born. Okay, take a moment. You can look over the stuff in the repo or look over this video, rewatch it again if that does not make sense. So at the end, what we're going to do is we're going to do a puts, and we're going to say you were born in, do a space, and then we'll concatenate the year born, because that's going to be an integer. We're going to convert it to a string, so we'll do 2s. Okay. All right, and we look like we're good to go. So let's do open up the terminal and let's run the program. And we'll say, what month is your birthday? So let's go with 3/20. What age are you? 12. So you were born in 2010. Okay, because you already had your birthday this year. It's 2022. You're 12. So that makes sense. Now let's run this again. Let's make up another date. What month is your birthday? Let's do the 11th month. So this month. What day is your birthday? Let's do the 22nd. So tomorrow. And what age are you? So the day you're doing this, you'll be, let's say you're 13. You turn 14 tomorrow. So we'll do 13. And it says you were born in 2008 because tomorrow you'll be 14. So 2022 minus 14 would be 2008, right? Okay, I hope that makes sense with that. And for this video, I want to include one more thing, and that's the case statements. So let's talk about case statements. All right, so what I'm going to do is create another file. And we'll call this Ruby file, we'll call it 018_case.rb. And we have a case expression, which is, it's sort of like a switch case with other languages. Why is that not highlighting? Okay, there we go. Make a note, there's no fall through, so we don't need to add break. So that's a nice thing that Ruby adds, that we don't need to add that break. So let's say we have a variable, we'll call it x, and we'll set it equal to 22. We'll set up a case. We'll say case x, and then we're going to use this keyword when. So we'll use when. We'll do 1 to 10. When it's between 1 and 10, we'll print out x is between 1 and 10, and that's including 1 and 10. Okay. We'll do another when keyword, and we'll say when 11. And in this case, we'll do a puts, x is 11. Let's do another case, when x is between 12 and 15, including those. We'll say we'll print out x is between 12 and 15, including 12 and 15. And we'll do another when x is 16, we'll print out x is 16. Okay, and then we're going to end this with an else. This is like default in other switch case statements. And what we'll do here is we'll just do a put statement. I don't know what number x is. Okay, now because I said it was 22, it's going to go ahead and do the default. So let's do a Control T to open the terminal. That's my shortcut I have. And then I want to run Ruby 018. I'll hit tab to autocomplete that. And you see it says, I don't know what number x is. Now let's change x a bit. Let's say x is 5. So we should get now x is between 1 and 10. Let's open the terminal back up, rerun, and we get x is between 1 and 10. Let's make sure of that. Let's say x is 10. And we'll rerun it, and we see x is between 1 and 10, and that includes 1 and 10. So we can keep changing this. Let's do 13, one more test. So we'll run it when x is 13. We see x is between 12 and 15. Okay? All right, so hopefully this gives you some insight into using case and when to use it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, as it will help get out to more people. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day.